channel. This is going to be a look at what the month of June 2025 has in store for you. Let's go ahead and jump straight in. Any information that you may be looking for to book a personal reading with me, I will have listed in the description box, so just check there. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so that you can see future videos and also when I go live and take personal reading questions for you guys. But let's go ahead and get into it. So, Scorpios. What is the general energy around my Scorpios for June 2025? What does June 2025 have in store for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements? Okay, so we have Love Abounds here. So with this card being the first oracle, this does talk about you recognizing who is deserving of the love that you have to offer. A lot of times when we're a person to where we're willing to love people deeply and we have that type of love where it's like, look, I'm gonna look out for you, I'm gonna, support you, I'm gonna basically uphold the standards of what I would look for in a relationship or in a person. It could be very hard to find people who match that same vibration of giving the same way or loving the same way. And you could be at a space to where you're kind of tired of feeling like you've been in situations or recently came out of a situation where you have poured so much of yourself into this person, into this relationship in a way where it's kind of like eaten at you, or it's kind of torn at your sense of self-love, even by upholding and even putting this person at the forefront of things. Now, going deeper, I do have helplessness and hopelessness in reverse, which I love. This does talk about you getting out of a space of feeling like you're being held back, or that you're not able to see the light of day after going through some things. Okay, whenever this card comes up, it's like when we feel alone, we feel abandoned, we feel like there's no hope. But with it being in reverse, a lot of you are coming out of this state of despair, or even seeing your situation from an angle of not being able to help yourself, not being able to transform your situation. And now you're stepping into a space of seeing exactly how to do so. You're tapping into a newfound sense of hope, and this could be because you're starting to have a goal or a perspective that's bigger than you. And this is really going to help you evolve in the month of June, which I love. And the last card we have for the oracles is Detach. So detaching is the big focal point during this month. Detaching your energy from other people's energy. And when I mean this, I mean this in the sense of disconnecting from someone else's emotions, where you're taking on the responsibility to feel how they feel and then try to transform it, and then try to do things to help transmute their energy, where you're kind of depleting your own. Or detaching from outcomes as well. If there has been like a fixation on, how is this going to turn out if I actually take action? What if I'm disappointed? What if this doesn't work out for me? You're detaching from that perspective into a perspective of like, okay, well, what's meant for me will be. I don't necessarily have to force anything into flow when what's meant for me will flow anyways. Okay, let's continue. What else is going on with my Scorpios for June 2025? June 2025, what's going on with Scorpios, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements? Okay, so the first card we have for the general energy is the Temperance card. So the Temperance card represents patience, resilience, moderation. You could be realizing that maybe your patience level hasn't necessarily been there for yourself, but you've had all the patience in the world for the wrong things, like the wrong people, the wrong situations. And I think that the readjustment in terms of patience is what's going to give you a chance to feel a lot more balanced, where you take the patience that you have for others and apply it to patience with self in terms of your growing process. It also talks about tempering emotion wise, and also getting to a place to where you're balanced, not just in a physical sense, but in an emotional sense too. So this month is going to encourage you to tend to your finances, putting money into your savings, managing that a lot better, and also managing your emotions better, especially if you're an emotional spender. I think that this month will bring attention to that being a coping mechanism, and you needing to find maybe healthier ways to manage stress. If not a spending issue, this could be other ways of coping with stress that isn't necessarily conducive. And I think that that will be clear as day during this time frame. Okay, also moderation. You could be realizing that maybe you've been going a little too hard on things in the effort to kind of force things ahead, and moderation is key. Moderation is important so that we can tap into that consistency part. Especially if we're talking about like working out, or building a business, or trying to achieve a bigger goal. We want to aim for consistency, not big, jumps in doing things. I hope you get what I mean by that. Anywho, going into what I see for career and finances for Scorpios, we have the Hermit. So with career and finance, there could be things that you are learning during this month. This could be wisdom that you're getting from like either a mentor or like a close friend that could work in the same field as you. This also talks about spending more time to yourself. You could be realizing that maybe hanging out all the time or doing certain things that could take away from maybe your focus on your career is kind of setting you back. So June, you could have more of like a focused, intentional energy about your career endeavors. This also talks about also you finally feel like you're getting things. If you felt like, okay, with school this seems really, really hard, I don't know how to navigate this, you could start to feel like you're understanding in the month of June. Or if you have been like trying to build a business and it's like, dang, how can I really push this forward? There could be information that you get where it's like, okay, now I know what was wrong and now I can make wiser decisions. Speaking of wiser decisions, I see you trying to intentionally make wiser decisions with just money, period. How are you spending money? How is money going out? Now, going into your love life, what's going on with Scorpio's love life for the month of June? So with your love life, we have the Hangman. So you could be putting your love life on pause intentionally so that you can focus more so on resources, focus on other areas in your life that needs more attention. For others of you, you could be single and there's been maybe delays in terms of you feeling like there's someone even worth dating. You could be putting yourself out there, but not like just taking in on or taking any old situation on as like a serious commitment until you feel like you're sure, or that things have been, that you have taken enough time to get to know this person to be 100% sure. For my Scorpios who are already in an existing relationship, you could want your person to see things from a different point of view. They could have, or your person could be wanting you to see things from a different point of view, but they could have a perspective that doesn't really allow you guys to move forward, whether that's them always focusing on the past or them thinking about things from the angle of what they perceive it from or what they want, and not maybe taking in consideration how you feel. And that could be very aggravating. Now, going into what I see for just the overall advice for you for June, I have the 9 of Cups. So the overall advice is to take care of and be very clear for what you wish for and the implications of what that comes with. A lot of times we want things and we don't really understand the gravity of what that comes with, or the level of commitment that requires from us in terms of like our emotional commitment to it. So make sure whatever you do decide to commit yourself to during this time frame, that you're wholeheartedly committing yourself to it. Okay? Also making sure that you're not doing things from a place of instant emotional gratification. Now, going into the possible challenge, I do have the Strength card. So the challenge may be either Leo specifically, or this could be confidence. There could be certain things that you're trying to do that could potentially put you in a space of vulnerability, like putting yourself on social media, putting yourself out there to maybe network and meet people. And with putting yourself out into these scary situations, it's going to require you to be extremely confident about your ability in being successful and being able to be seen for your gifts and what you're talented in. So yeah, the challenge here is to resilient as well, like in the face of things maybe not going exactly the way that you may want it to in the timing you want it to. This is where resilience has to kind of stand out. Now, going into what to avoid, what do my, oh, I have the Emperor. So this could be a Aries, Taurus, or Virgo. Doesn't have to be those zodiac signs specifically, but this could be a person who has like authoritative energy where they want to be in control at any means. So this is like, okay, I want to be in control of how, you know, you do work in the office, so I'm going to micromanage you as a boss. Or I want to be in control of how you handle X, Y, and Z, so I'm an overpowering parent. Like, pay attention to where certain individuals want to have way more control over decisions or things that you're trying to do in your life than you're willing to even give them the chance to be able to be in control of that in the first place. What else do you need to avoid? Feeling like you also have to do everything by yourself as well. Making sure you don't have this hyper need to control everything to where you're not able to control anything and it feels more overwhelming than it needs to. Now, what to watch out for? I have the Four of Pentacles. So this is making sure that you're being mindful of opportunities that are limited, like financially. So this could be like, okay, this company, they only want to pay me X, Y, and Z, and they only want to limit me to this position. They're not giving me any opportunity to grow. I would be watchful of that, especially when it comes to any of my Scorpios job hunting. Also being watchful of how you're just managing your sense of stability now. Are you, saving for a rainy day? Are you taking in consideration of not just saving, but also like living your life to some degree? It's having a good balance where we're not too stingy with money, that we're not letting it flow, because that's what the purpose of money is, to store value and to flow. Or us being too rigid in terms of what feels safe and then stopping our money flow by doing that as well. Now, in terms of the outcome for the month of June, we have the Sun card. So the outcome, you could feel a lot happier by the end of this time frame. Actually, you could feel as if, hey Anna, you could feel like you really did accomplish a lot during this month in terms of personal goals you may have had for yourself. And there's something that you're going to realize during this month that's going to bring you peace, where it's like, you know what, I really couldn't have controlled how this relationship would have turned out, because this person needed to find their own personal sense of happiness, whether, it was with me or without me. Or I'm happy because, Spirit revealed to me that maybe this job wasn't necessarily for me, and this job really is. This other job may really be for me. There's something that's going to be revealed to you where it brings you a sense of happiness. Because it's like, okay, I could be at peace with the outcome of things. And this also works out better for me. So this is what I see. I hope this did give you insight in regards to what this month has in store. If you enjoyed, definitely thumbs up the video and subscribe. And I will see my Scorpios later. Bye, y'all.